Come, children, gather round, gather round. Gotta post the link for the people on Twitter so they could join in the fun. For those that don't know, tomorrow morning, USA East Coast time, tomorrow afternoon, UK time, we're gonna have 3-0 unbeaten prospect of Derby, Sandy Ryan, here on the channel. Gonna do a fan Q&A in the fashion of fan Q&As that we do with the fighters. Yeah, man. Gonna have some fun with that. Sandy is one of my favorite prospects. She's very angry, hits very hard, fights like a much more experienced fighter than she is. And we'll be picking her brain briefly, just about her career and other interesting subjects in boxing. What's goody, Rob? What's goody, Midwest? What's goody, Daniel? What's goody, Danny? What's goody, JD? What's goody, Ernie Wows? Shout out to Willie Lynch for the Cash App. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it. I got the best subscribers in the world, honestly, because I be getting them joints. I'm like, damn, you ain't had to do that, but you did it, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Gary was good. You know what I mean? Poor Check was good. And yeah, man, it's a slow month in the sport of boxing. January is a bit of a slow month in the sport of boxing because there's no fights in the UK. There are not that many fights happening in the US, but tomorrow night, Joe Smith Jr. will return to action against Gaffrey, late replacement opponent. You didn't see me do a prediction video for it, and that should tell you how I feel about the fight. Joe Smith Jr. is not the kind of guy that you decide to fight on short notice because he's a very heavy-handed puncher. And, it's a good chance he gets through that guy. Let's hope he does, because if he does, that opens the door for the Better Beef fight or the potential Canelo Alvarez fight. I've heard so many mixed things about what it is that's going on with Canelo. On one end, I've heard that his very next fight will be on Showtime. But I also heard that he's not looking at Jermall Charlo. I also heard that. I got a tip about that he's not looking at Jermall Charlo or David Benavidez. Makabu is still in the running. Joe Smith Jr. is in the running. And Dimitri Bivol is in the running. I have conflicting things that I'm being told, and that's why whenever I do a video on that subject, you hear me say that I don't know what this guy's going to do. I'm okay with whatever he does because at this point he's earned the right to choose, and whoever doesn't respect that is likely in the minority of boxing fans, because the majority of paying boxing fans are the ones who pay to see him fight, and they're happy with what he's doing. So who gives a fuck what you think? I'm not against. I say this. So I feel like I say this 3 to 4 times every single week, but it's necessary. I'm not against Charlo getting the fight. I'm not against Benavidez getting the fight, and I'm not against Demetrius Andrade getting the fight, or Bivol, or Better Beef, or Makabu, or Smith. But what you guys have to understand is, if any one of them gets the fight, the rest of them don't. And you want me to act as if the ones that don't get it are so fucking special that I should be upset. No, I'm not going to be upset. If he fights Bivol, cool. If he fights Benavidez, cool. If he fights Better Beef, cool. If he fights Charlo, cool. If he fights Andrade, cool. If he fights Makabu, I'm cool with all of it, bro. Cool with all of it. I was goody Felipe. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, January is turning out to be a slow month in the sport of boxing. There aren't that many boxing matches going on, save the Charles Martin versus Luis Ortiz fight that happened about 2 weeks ago, and the Joe Smith Jr. fight that's set to go down tomorrow night. He just needs to get that guy out of the way, get that W, rack up that title defense, and move on to a Better Beef fight. And, I don't know if it's going to turn out to be Better Beef based on what I'm hearing, because I just told you, I'm hearing that Canelo Alvarez is looking at him. He's looking at Joe Smith Jr., he's looking at Dimitri Bivol, and he's looking at the winner of Makabu versus Machunu. He's looking at those guys. That's what I heard. I don't know how true it is. That's just what I heard. And if that tip checks out, then it's not about Charlo. I'm okay with him fighting Charlo because I view Jermall Charlo as a basic fighter. And if you've convinced yourself of otherwise, I will ask the existential question. Is Canelo Alvarez allowed to go 12 rounds with Montiel and not get castigated for it? Is Gennady Golovkin allowed to go 12 rounds with Montiel and not get castigated for it? Is Canelo Alvarez allowed to go 12 rounds with a Brandon Adams and not get castigated for it? Is Gennady Golovkin allowed to go 12 rounds with a Brandon Adams and not get castigated for it? You know the answer. Like, you know, if any one of them went 12 rounds with those fighters that are of that caliber, we would never hear the end of it. So why am I supposed to look over that when it comes to Jamal? Why? Why is it supposed to be different for him? You say that you think that he's elite. You say that you think he'd give him a run for his money. I say no, because you know what? You're not beating Canelo Alvarez on the cards. And if I'm being honest, I see him stopping you. What's goody, James Jackson? How do you view Canelo versus Boo Boo going? If it was ever to happen, in your opinion, this is what I see. I see Demetrius Andrade having success early for two reasons. He's very tall, very awkward, and he's a southpaw, and he's a pure boxer. He's economic. He doesn't throw a lot of punches, so he doesn't give you a lot of punches to have to counter, right? That's the beginning. But because Canelo Alvarez has taken a liking to being a pressure fighter, coming forward in a high guard, catching and shooting, right? He's going to push the pace on Andrade, and the pace will be more than Demetrius is accustomed to, and he's going to get hit, and he may get stopped. Yes, I could see Demetrius being stopped by Canelo Alvarez, because it's not just the punching power, it's exhaustion, it's the pace of the fight, that you're throwing, and sometimes you're touching them, sometimes you're not, sometimes you're getting hit, sometimes you're getting countered, but the whole while you're working, you're not in control. He keeps forcing you to fight. That's what pressure fighters do, and that's why pressure fighters are a lot of fun, because either they're going to force you to fight or they're going to get fucked up trying to force you to fight. That's why I like pressure fighters, even though my favorite base style to watch is boxer punchers that are counter punchers. That's your Miguel Cotto. That's your Canelo Alvarez. You know, those kind of guys that they can do a little bit of everything. And I with Andrade, like I said, I see him having success early. I could even see him having a lead, a bit of a lead, like he could be up around or something like that before he gets stopped. But the reason I see him getting stopped is because most guys are not used to the pace that Canelo Alvarez sets as he's coming forward in that high guard, catching and shooting and forcing you to move and punch and work, forcing you to work. What I can liken it to is you remember the second Gennady Golovkin fight, and you saw that that's where Canelo Alvarez really put that to work, and he had Golovkin on the back foot, and his jab on the back foot did not have the power on the front foot. It didn't have the same power when he's stepping into that jab and his weight is behind it as he jabs, forcing him on the back foot, that pace of I'm going to come forward, I'm going to catch and shoot, I'm going to crowd you, I'm going to counter you. You're forcing the guy to work, and in forcing the guy to work, you make him tired. Usyk does something very similar. It's just very subtle, but he does something very similar to where the whole time he's forcing you to do shit and he's forcing you to react and he's depleting your energy reserves while he does it. So by the time the later rounds roll around, you're fucking tired and you'll be lucky if you don't get stopped. Shout out to Blitz Bane, who says Canelo is simply the best. Hrgovic versus Yoka is going to be fire. Yes, it is. I'm very happy about that fight. That is one of those situations where I'm happy to be wrong. I was happy that I was wrong because I expected Tony to reschedule the Bacoli fight because they said they were going to reschedule it. They said there were COVID restrictions in France and they were going to move the fight date. So I was actually expecting him to reject the offer and focus on rescheduling the fight. He didn't do that. He chose to man the fuck up and step up when Luis Ortiz and Joseph Parker and Michael Hunter decided to step down. I'm very happy about that. It's an excellent fight. I'm going to be reviewing a lot of footage for that fight, and I hope that nothing happens to it. A lot of people, when it comes to their amateur fights, a lot of people were unhappy with the results because Tony has wins over Hrgovic, but those are contentious victories, And at most, you have to say that those are split decision wins. The 2 wins that he has over him are split decision wins. That tells you that he didn't have it all his way. And if you ask people, who did they have winning the fight? You're going to find a sea of people that say Hrgovic should have won. So that kind of gives you an insight. The difference now, however, is that they're in the pros now. And that was a 3-round fight. The amateurs is 3-round fights. This is a 10 or 12-round fight. I mean, I think because it's an eliminator, I think it's a 12-round fight. I believe it's because it's an eliminator and it's a final eliminator. So because it's an eliminator, it's a 12-round fight. And Tony has been fighting better people than Hrgovic has been fighting. He has. He fought Johan Duhaupas. He fought Christian Hammer. He didn't look good against Christian Hammer. But who has Hrgovic been fighting? I've heard some, not a lot of people, say they felt that he's regressed, that he doesn't look nothing special. So it's a really good fight. It's a really good fight, and I'm very happy about it. The future of the heavyweight division could be decided with that fight. It very well could. Javier, Charlo would whoop Yildirim. Yeah, I think Charlo would whoop Yildirim, but I don't know if he would stop him. He didn't stop Brandon Adams. He didn't stop Juan Montiel. A lot of people conveniently forget that Anthony Durrell beat Avni Yildirim, but he had to work harder than Chris Eubank Jr. to beat Avni Yildirim. Chris Eubank Jr. beat the fucking shit out of fucking Yildirim and knocked him out. Anthony Durrell had to go through the gears with Avni Yildirim. Watch the fight. If Anthony Durrell at 168 pounds, he got to go through the gears to beat Yildirim, right? I think Charlo would have to go through the gears to beat Yildirim. Charlo has beaten absolutely no one for me to think. And I don't want to keep hearing about Sergey because Sergey was coming off a 12-round war where he was knocked down. He got hit a lot in that Golovkin fight. Whatever was left of him a year later, that's what Charlo fought. That's not what Jacobs fought. Jacobs fought an unbeaten Sergey. Gennady Golovkin fought a very ambitious Sergey that was going for it and crowding him and putting punches together. By the time them 2 guys is done with him, okay, here comes Charlo. Jules, you should get contacts to read the comments. Nah, I told you, I like squinting because it makes me look mysterious and sexy. And then when I put the hoodie on, I fake look like an archangel. Like I'm here to give you the boxing wisdoms. That's a priest, the Christ has to have. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's actually there is some validity to that, Juan, because most people forgot that there was a brief moment where Sergey and Canelo were supposed to fight, and Canelo Alvarez offered him $5 million for the fight, and they tried to hardline Canelo, and they asked for 7. For a perspective, you're asking for close to $10 million, and you're Sergey Derevyanchenko. You're asking for close to $10 million, and you are Sergey Derevyanchenko, a mandatory challenger. Canelo is not supposed to give you whatever you want, and it's an opportunity for you, not an opportunity for him. And people don't want to understand that. They think that because, oh, you fighting the cash cow, that I'm supposed to make you rich. It's lost on today's generation that the opportunity is not simply the purse. The opportunity is being able to get in the ring with Canelo so you can try to beat Canelo. But because so many people acquiesce to defeat psychologically, they just think about the purse. The management thinks about the purse. That's all they're thinking about. You fucked that man out of that fight. That's what happened. Shakur looked good in sparring against Ugas. Think he'll do great once he start moving up in weight. I agree with that, and I actually said that, running guard. A lot of people, when he was down there at 122 and 126, they was saying that he can't punch. He has no punch. And I'm like, nah, he's young. When he gets older and his body grows and he gets bigger, he'll get his man strength. You can't expect him to have his man strength when he down there at featherweight. Like, I'm not saying he gonna be a big puncher. I'm not saying he gonna punch people head off their shoulder, but his power will develop as he moves up because he has the kind of dimensions the way he could top out probably at 140. I don't know about 147, but at 140, I could definitely still see him being a force as high as 140, at minimum 135. Do you think Mayweather owns a large stake in the PBC and that's the reason why he now needs more money because Al Heyman has lost Floyd's money? You'll know that's what I believe, Lil Penny. If you watch this channel, you'll know that that's what I believe. I believe that all the PBC fighters' purses, a portion of them, are funneled to some kind of an account that reintegrates them, reinvests them into the PBC. I firmly believe that. And I also believe that Al Heyman has lost some of that money. And that's why Floyd is doing more advertisements more frequently for more companies. He's all wrapped up in some kind of crypto coin, Bitcoin situation, some fiasco. Him and Kim Kardashian, a pump and dump scheme where they try to build it up, then bail with the investors' money, some scam shit. It's like, bro, like when you moving like that, it's kind of obvious because of how you moving that something is not right. You said that the Jake Paul exhibition match was going to be your final exhibition match. You weren't going to do any more of those. And not but a few months later, you started negotiating another one with some kid over there in Dubai. I've given my thoughts on that, Christopher. A lot of people may not agree with me, and I'm okay with that. But I feel like Charlo, because he's a boxer puncher, he can make adjustments more than Brian. Brian is a pressure fighter. He's going to apply pressure regardless of who he's fighting, whether it's Michael Soro or Erislan De Lara or Brian or Patrick Teixeira or Jermell Charlo. He's going to apply pressure. He's going to try to slip and slide and get close to you and crowd you and put punches together. Whereas because Jermell is a boxer puncher, he can actually make adjustments. And I know it might sound crazy, but I think he might knock him out this time. I think he might. I don't think it goes to the scorecards this time. And if I'm wrong, cool, bro. I like Brian Castano, so that's cool too. If he wins, that's not nothing to be mad about. He's a great fighter. He's an underrated fighter. If he becomes undisputed, that's monumental. How big is that going to be for Argentina if he wins and we have a 4-belt champion in the 4-belt era from Argentina? That's history for them. So I'm not mad at that neither. I'm cool with both. But I honestly do believe a boxer puncher can make more adjustments in a rematch than a pressure fighter. And in rematch situations, usually the guy that can make adjustments, even small ones, usually that's the guy that wins. I thought Charlo got hometown love on the cards. A lot of people do, and I don't blame you. I'll say that. I don't blame you. I can't blame you for that. Home field advantage is a real thing, and people only like to acknowledge it when it's convenient. If that fight were somewhere else, he probably would have lost. The same way if Parker versus Ruiz were in America, Parker would have lost. But home field advantage is a real thing. Michael McKinson is a live dog versus Virgil Ortiz, or is everybody Gucci for Virgil? I'm going to say I want to get a closer look at Michael McKinson because I don't like that Virgil isn't fighting David Avanesian. I don't like that. Where Virgil is right now as a fighter, he needs to be fighting Avanesians, not McKinsons. And that's not because McKinson is good or bad. It's because now you need to be having the kind of fights that prepare you for a title. David Avanesian is more world level right now than McKinson based on track record. So I feel like those are the kind of fighters you need to be fighting. Now think about it this way. David Avanesian was beat by Mean Machine. Virgil beat the shit out of Mean Machine. So why are you fighting a guy that's not on the level of them? Why are you not fighting a guy on the level of them? It feels like they're kind of slowing down a bit. And I don't, you never see me bash him for it, but it does feel like they're slowing down a bit. And I don't bash him for it because he already has a really great resume. El Maestro, Javier Orozco, Brad Solomon, Samuel Vargas, motherfucking Maurice Hooker, Mean Machine. So if they want to slow down, I'm not going to say a bunch of shit. Like, if y'all want to slow down in 2022 and take your time a little more, cool. But if you asking me about McKinson, I would have preferred to see Evanesian. For my money, I would have preferred to see Evanesian. Home field advantage can also hurt a fighter. I agree with you to a degree, because look at what happened to Jarrett Hurd and look at what happened to Julian Williams. Those were supposed to be big homecoming fights, and it went completely sideways for those fighters. Sometimes, because a fighter has home field advantage, maybe they don't focus up, maybe they take their foot off the gas, they're taken by the moment, being able to fight in front of their crowd, their hometown crowd, or they succumb to the pressure. It's a lot of ways it could affect you. You know what I mean? Home field advantage. But once again, home field advantage is a real thing. It is. You know what I mean? We can't dismiss, if a fight goes to the cards, we can't dismiss the role of having home field advantage. Like, that's just naive and pointless. What's good? He writing Yogi? Yeah, I love Tim Zoo, man. And right now I'm waiting for my man Asabache. I'm waiting for motherfucking Alexis Rumbero. I want to shoot the shit with Alexis Rumbero about the Crawford shit, because I didn't get to hear his take on it. I heard Leo's take. I heard everybody's take that's normally here on the channel. I didn't get to hear Alexis Rumbero's take. So right now what I'm doing is I'm waiting for him. He said he's on his way to his crib, and when he gets in, he gonna jump on. When it comes to that entire case, you guys know how I feel about it. I'm not emotionally invested. I'm not emotionally attached. I am not putting myself in Crawford's shoes, because guess what? The situation is not about me. And to that I'll add, the situation is not about you. If you are putting yourself in Crawford's shoes or his situation, you're assuming that Bob is guilty. I had a guy tell me that, oh, I don't know what Bob says behind closed doors. Yeah, but neither do you, motherfucker. So why the fuck am I supposed to listen to you? I'm supposed to base my conclusions or my opinions on what the fuck you think. Even worse is that what I said is not opinion. Court works how court works. If you are too stupid, if you are too fucking stupid to understand that, then don't bother talking about it, bro. What you think I'm gonna go to? What you think gonna happen in court? Motherfuckers gonna say, oh, he said Rigo is boring. Yeah, but he said Dimitri Bivol is boring. Is Bivol and Rigo the same person? Do they even look alike? No. So that kills your bias right then and there. You silly motherfuckers. He said that shit not but a few days ago. A little over a week ago, where motherfuckers are still sitting here moaning after all these years because he called Rigo boring. Oh my God, he called Rigo boring. You silly motherfucker. He just said that about Bivol. Not but 2 weeks ago. Was you mad then? No. So let me see if I understand it. You think that because he called Rigo boring, that's a big deal. But when he called Bivol boring, that's not a big deal. What I see is he's consistent. You're not. Goofy ass motherfuckers. In the shit that I read, it said, oh, he says bad things about Al Heyman because he doesn't say bad things about Eddie Hearn. Goofy motherfuckers. The shit read like somebody wrote it in fucking crayon. The shit. It really read like did y'all write this shit in crayon? He says bad things about Al Heyman. He says bad things about Eddie Hearn more than he says bad things about Al Heyman. I was goody. Jay was goody. Poor check. It's not even whether you think Bivol is boring or he's not boring. It's not even if you think Rigo is boring or he's not boring. The shit is that he said the same thing about two different fighters that come from two different demos. So where do you get that because he says that about him, Oh no! He said no. You think you think it's Russians in Russia right now losing sleep because Bob Arum said B-Ball is boring? You think it's Russians in Russia right now putting up the energy that you goofy motherfuckers is putting up because Bob said B-Ball is boring? You fucking dickheads, man. I gotta get the fuck off this planet, dog. There's too many stupid ass people on this planet, man. I gotta go back to fucking Krypton, man, because it's just too many stupid ass motherfuckers around here. Motherfucker literally sit there and say the exact same shit about Bevo that he said about Rigo, and he, oh no, fucking 7, 8 years later, he called Rigo boring. No, no, fucking dickhead, man. And these be the cats on Twitter that try to act like they some, I don't even know, man. I like, these be the cats that are threatening you. You want to fight? These is the cat. Yo, you want to fight? Stupid motherfuckers, man. That shit is so crazy to me, man. These motherfuckers will ask you to fight on the internet in a heartbeat. The same dudes that been crying about Rigo for 7. He called Rigo boring. Fuck. He called Rigo boring. Oh, fucking Barbarian. That motherfucker told Mike Copinger to shut the fuck up, you little prick. Did he get preference? I'm like, yo, man, I don't know who the fuck raised y'all, man, but I don't know who the fuck raised these guys, man. Keeping it real with you, man. I'm about to shoot Asabache the link. 10 people cannot join the panel because I'm trying to keep the panel light because I got a couple of requests that the panel stay within a certain number because they say it's too many people talking over each other. Asabache, hit the fucking link, bro. I want to hear your thoughts on this shit. That shit killed me how grown ass men. He called Rigo boring. He called Rigo, bro. He said the same shit about Bevo, though. He literally said the same shit about Bevo. Like, do you think anybody in Russia is? He called Bevo boring. Fucking pussified ass. I can't. I don't know who raised.
Fat. How you doing, my Dominican brother?
I'm laughing. I'm laughing at just.
I'm tired of all of them, bro. Like, yo, bro, I'm telling you, we need a cover herd. People need to meet Satan. Like, I'm tired of people. People really need to meet Satan, B. Like,
right,
there's a lot of.
Hold on, everybody, chill, because I actually went live specifically. I seen your post, Alexis. I wanted to get you on here. I want to pick your brain about the shit. All right. The subject that is down. Let me preface the shit. Let me set the stage. The subject that is dominating headlines in the sport of boxing today is Crawford's lawsuit of Bob Arum, who he alleges is racially biased against fighters of a certain denomination. Alexis, what say you?
I say that he's really sending an olive branch to the LDBC types that have disowned him. I think that he's bitter. I think that the one merit that the case may have, like I'm gonna be objective about it. About the 2019 the allegations that he's owed a fight from 2019 to the tune of $4.5 million, because I remember myself thinking to myself that, wow, I haven't seen Crawford fight in a while, and up until that point, he had been fighting to the tune of 2 fights a year. So that makes sense. I think that's what the case is going to come down to. The other thing about the $900,000 owed for not making Errol Spence an offer in 2020, I'm thinking to myself, well, wasn't that guy like recovering from a car crash? And I don't know, it was too much going on for anything to fly about 2020, right? So I think the crux of the case is for the $4.5 million. I think that there may be something that there might be some merit to it, but even if he's awarded that, like he proves that there's a breach of contract for that, the award would not be the $4.5 million because it's not like he fought and didn't get paid the money. What he's saying is that they owe him a fight. So an arbiter or a judge could, and I think what they would do is say, give him the fight. You understand? And pay him his money. So it's not like you're going to get $4.5 million and not provide any kind of services. So that's two different boats. As far as it's gonna be very, very hard for him to prove. And this is what. And I first of all, I would like for you at some point to tell me what exact post prompted you to. Don't you?
Get that, Julius?
Julius, what is wrong with you, bro? Julius is a psychopath, bro. Jesus Christ.
But that's funny, man.
But Julius, if you could tell me what exact post you were referring to,
the one where you used one of my favorite words, the trepidation.
The trepidation, yes.
Trepidation, baby.
Ow! And trepidation, I've come to the conclusion that Crawford is, and I said like looking for love in all the wrong places, because he's been disowned. The minute that he signed the Top Rank, that he re-signed with Top Rank, he was shunned. He's been shunned. Just like honestly.
He's been shunned by his own community. That's the reason why you feel like that.
And that's who he's sending an olive branch to. And what better way to do that?
He shouldn't be sending an olive branch to, because.
But what better way to do that than to offer up everybody's favorite whipping boy, Bob Arum? Anytime you say anything negative about Bob Arum, you usually get a lot of support from that type in the community. But the thing with this particular case that's really has rekindled my faith in mankind is that the backlash that he's getting for this. They're not going for the bullshit. Like across YouTube sphere, across the Twitter world, across all the boxing, it's almost the boxing community saying like, wait a minute, you're making no sense. First of all, in order for you to say that there was some racial bias in your, let's take this point by point from what he first said, right? He brings up that Bob Arum likes to promote Latino fighters better than he does black fighters. Okay. Then he says that he hasn't been well promoted and that's why he's not working. Well, the thing about that is that I don't understand how you can bring up that as a case and then have the PBC guy say, I can't afford you. It makes no sense.
Now,
mind you, that was a black guy, Tim Smith, who said that too.
Now that's what I was about to allude to. Nobody say anything. This is the part of humanity that makes me want to leave the planet. Everybody in this country seems to think that someone else needs to be doing something but them. And there are very few people like myself who think, no, I need to be doing something. So when my man Terrence Crawford ended up fighting fucking Amir Khan of all fucking people, you know what I did? I bought the fight. That's my guy. I gotta support him. Whose mic is all fucked up? Once again, there's a thing in this country, and I do believe it's exclusive to this country because I don't see it anywhere else, where everybody thinks that someone else is supposed to be. Bob has to promote him more. Oh, but you don't have to buy the fight. It's just Bob. I hear people say Bob should have promoted him better. Did you know about his fight? Yeah. All right, then what the fuck else, bro? You knew about his fight. Did you buy it? It's the same. Now, hold on. It's the same thing as the Jadakiss parallel that I always bring up. That if you think Jadakiss is so fucking great, why are you buying the bootleg? Why aren't you buying the album? Do you think you're helping Jadakiss by buying the bootleg?
Yes, you always say that. That's true.
Julius,
Jada really your man. You really rock with Jada heavy. Like that's really your man. Like show me Kiss the Game Goodbye.
No, it's not that. It's that I used to have a lot of arguments about, and you know how this shit is. This some Harlem shit. What determines good lyricism? Album sales or a fucking feeling, right? And I'm not with the bullshit. I'm just not with the bullshit, bro. If this motherfucker's selling, he got it right. I don't give a fuck how you felt when you heard some shit, because if you didn't buy it, you didn't feel shit.
I feel you, but
you ain't feel no, don't do it. You did not feel shit enough to pay cash money.
What about the mixtapes? What about the mixtapes, bro?
What about them?
But we talk. No. I want to go back to what you were talking about with Crawford. But this little side caveat in terms of lyricism for me, it's what's coming out your mouth, B. But back to what you were saying.
I'm not with that shit because it's because of bullshit like that Kendrick Lamar supposed to be fake nice. No, you not, because I don't want to give you none of my money. Fuck out of here.
Not whack though.
Fuck out of here.
If we're gonna deviate to that,
hey Julius, can I talk?
Hold on.
Who is a brilliant lyricist, but apparently can't sell a lick, which is Joel Ortiz.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, Dan, I'm gonna go to you, Dan, because you haven't had the chance to talk. Everybody mute your mics except Dan. Dan, if I tell you that a guy is nice, but he don't sell, is he nice?
It don't matter if he's nice or not, because he's. I mean, you can say he's nice, but we don't know that. And if he ain't selling, he ain't going nowhere doing nothing.
You know what I'm saying? If I want to see a movie, and it's a great movie, or it's supposed to be a great movie, I'm not gonna be sitting here playing with no bootleg. I ain't gonna be on no Fire Stick looking for a fucking stream. I gotta go see that motherfucking shit. Period. If it's what they say it is. But don't sit here telling him, he this and that, and he this, and you over here stealing his shit. You don't think as much of him as you let on.
Julius,
hey,
these same people.
One at a time. Felipe, go ahead.
I was gonna say these people, bigging up Crawford and supporting him in this lawsuit are the same people that didn't buy his last pay-per-view.
And that's my point. Mark, I don't have a question, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna say one thing real quick. I'm not gonna die on a hill on this one because I'm not gonna die on a hill, so I'm not gonna put myself out for one or anything. The only question I would ask is, and this is not in support of Bob Arum, but more so in just actually kind of trashing Bob Arum. Where is Bob Arum's pay-per-view star in the last 7 years outside of Manny Pacquiao? Go ahead.
I mean, I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna see. This is the thing. It's not Bob Arum I'm defending. It's the truth. Bob is just a human being. He's just a person. He's nothing to me. I don't know him.
Can I be honest, Jay? Real quick. Bob is not, and never really has been, a great promoter when it comes to making stars, pay-per-view stars. He do brilliant at making world champions, though. I think there's a huge difference.
Okay. I'm gonna say this. Look, this is what I'm gonna say. I saw, and I've talked about this before, and then I'm gonna pass it to who hasn't gotten to talk yet. I'm gonna pass it to was that
Julius,
you?
You're kind of choppy, bro.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's kind of choppy on my end.
Julius ain't choppy at all.
Yeah,
It's
you're
your
fine.
end.
Yeah, I
Mine
can't
Your
hear
end.
mine. I think it's your
it's
end, man.
probably me. My bad.
All right, now what I'm gonna say is it's not about Bob, it's about the truth. When you put something like that out there, you create division based on a logical fallacy. You claim that you are being treated less than for white and Latino fighters. But do you think that Bob was trying to do Mikey Garcia a favor when he tried to get him to fight you? Or was he trying to do you a favor? Was he trying to do you a favor? How many of Bob Arum's Latino fighters that you talking about in the last 3 or 5, 4 or whatever years have been on pay-per-view as many times as you? How
Thank you.
many?
Can I just say something, please? So the other thing, because in debunking or what's going to be very, very hard, the contradictions, the verifiable, tangible contradictions in his claims are these. If he's treating Latino fighters better than you, you brought this up. How come you're the one that's gotten the pay-per-views? How come Jose Ramirez makes less money than you? How come Gilberto Ramirez just left Top Rank and refused $1.5 million to fight Felix Valera because he looked for more money? So Top Rank said to him, we're going to pay you this because this is what you're worth, even though you are 40-something and old, right? And you're coming into a new division and you've been champion at 168, but you're disgruntled with me. So those are all evidences. And don't forget Teofimo Lopez, who went crazy. He said, this fight is worth this much. That's what I'm paying for it. You could go somewhere else and get that money if you want. So it's all very consistent. Despite across all creeds, race and creeds. So this is the thing that Crawford is going to have to prove. First of all, is in a court of law, he's going to have to come up with another welterweight of similar stature that's made more money than he has. That's what he's going to have to prove, and one of the evidences that's going to be the most against him is that last pay-per-view event that he had against Sean Porter, and I'll tell you why. The pay-per-view impressions were based on their purses over the last, I think, 4 fights or 3 or 5 fights, something like that. That's what the WBO determined the purse splits. That's why Shakur Stevenson made more money than Jamel Herring for their last fight, even though Jamel Herring was the champion. So it's nothing new with the WBO. So what came to light in that situation was that Terrence Crawford ended up making the $6 million to Sean Porter's $4 million, and that includes Sean Porter's pay-per-view against Earl Spence, his fight against Danny Garcia, his fight against Ugas. Having all that into consideration, Sean Porter still ended up making $2 million less. And what was the split for him and Earl Spence? The splits were 50-50 guaranteed, $2 million each, and then 60-40 on the back end money of the sales. So how you're going to go into court and say that I've been kept, and it's similar stature, because you can't bring a Manny Pacquiao into this, because Manny Pacquiao is not a similar stature.
Now let me champ the shit for a second. See, when you say that, oh, he treated me like A, B, C, and D, you have Latino fighters that say the same exact thing. Mikey Garcia was saying the same thing you're saying, yet according to you, he's getting Is that what Mikey would say, that he got preferential treatment? See, this is my perspective. If you were going to go after Bob Arum for a breach of contract, you should have just stayed with that. Because what can happen now, and I said this in my last video, Even if you can prove the breach, he can countersue you for defamation of character and offset what he was going to give you with the breach the way he doesn't have to give you nothing. Oh, you want 4.5 for the breach? Let's say you win a 4.5. Guess what? I'm suing you for 4.5 in defamation of character. You can't run around saying stuff like that about me. I'm trying to run a business. Prove to me, prove to the court that I'm these things. And I will prove to them that the same way I treated you is the same way I treated fighters of a different denomination. Dispelling, debunking your accusations.
Hey, Julius.
He called Rigo boring. So in other words, and what these people would have you believe is if you're not biting your nails and you're not at the edge of your seat during a Rigo fight, then what, you're a racist?
Yeah, see, that's
I'm
ridiculous.
glad you bring this up. How about this?
That was stupid.
Where he brought up the fact that Tawks didn't have a BLM logo on their mats during the whole BLM thing. But this is the thing. How about the telecast itself? The telecast itself was all about supporting the narrative of BLM. Tim Bradley talked about being stopped in his new car and this and that and the other. Andre Ward talked about it was all addressed in depth for weeks on end during that telecast. But you're gonna talk to me about I need to put a logo on the ring?
No, moreover, I need to affiliate. If I don't affiliate myself, I look at it as more cut and dry, right? Because in court, you're telling me that because I didn't put this BLM mat on the mats of the rings, that costed you $10 million? Because you're trying to sue me for $10 million.
Boom.
So in me not doing that costed you $10 million? Well, then it cost you $4.5 million. Are you insane? Who decided? Like to me, you know what this is? I'm gonna tell you what this is, then I'm gonna pass it to Chris. I believe that Brian Friedman is raw because you didn't win the Mikey Garcia lawsuit, bro. That dude sat out for 2 years fucking with you, bro. You've been waiting to get back at Bob. You've been waiting. When I read that shit from 2016, he said, I'll go up against Bob in any federal court. That tell me that this is like a Moby Dick for you or something. Like you just got a hard on for this dude. That's what it sounds like. But at the end of the day, when you represented Mikey Garcia, who the fuck is loading a Glock?
You are. Not me, but you are.
When you represented Mikey Garcia in court, bro, you didn't win. He sat out for 2 years fucking with you, bro. How is that a win? Do you get time back? Can you win time back in court? No. He lost 2 years. So when Bob said that the contract is good and this guy sits out for 2 years, why is that? Because he's under contract.
Because the contract
is good. Hey, Jules, sorry to interrupt right quick. I know I gave my take on things right quick, but I'm having choppy internet issues too, so I'm gonna dip out and let anybody else jump on. But
I bet.
always thank you for having me on, everybody. It was a pleasure.
Hey, JJ. Yes.
Have a good one, AJ.
All right, y'all
You know
take
what I
care.
mean? If the contract wasn't good, you would have been fucking released, bro. He wouldn't have had a choice but to release you. You sat out for 2 years because guess what? The fucking contract was good. And Brian Friedman, I read this shit, and I swear to God, it read like a Twitter argument almost. Well, that's not the real reason. It's because, bro, your client sat out for 2 years, and I don't think it's because the contract was bad. Your client sat out on the shelf for 2 years because guess what? The contract was good.
Julius. Julius, is it a case that Bob Arum was styling on him? Bob was basically, you mad because I'm styling on you, Brian Freeman?
I think
not to Terrence Crawford is a case because you didn't hear my thing. Because I say this: when we're dealing with civil cases in America, the threshold is a preponderance of evidence.
Yes.
Right. So now dealing with this. now, if we read the case now, what Tenz put out, which I think shot himself in the foot, that he was alleging racial bias. That's the reason why he wasn't getting certain fights and that he wasn't commanding the money that he did. But now that if you see the complaint, that's something completely different. But what lending to what you said, Julius, you can't allege those type of bodacious claims like that if you don't have concrete proof. And say if you do win that 4 million or 10 million, Bob Arum, like you did say, can resue for that because ultimately, like you said, Bob Arum has been fair with everybody. Look how he talks about the MMA guys. Look how he talks about the Russians. Look how he talks about everybody.
Let me say this. I don't even say that Bob is fair with everybody. You know what I say? Business is business. Period. And people like this the shit, right? This is the main shit. A lot of motherfuckers never done shit in their life, but they like to act like they do. And when you show me that you just don't understand that business is business, that's how I know you never did shit in your fucking life. Because at that level, the only color that matter is green.
It's green.
It's green. Not white, not black, not brown, not yellow, not orange. Green. And he treated Mikey the same way he treated Crawford. Hell, he treated Crawford better than he treated Mikey. Mikey was bitching about $2 million. Crawford, you got 6 for Sean. 6. Go ahead.
Couple things. One, Eson's in the chat trying to get in. 2, when we get the chance and we got a break because we're on a certain subject right now, I'd like to fill you in about Floyd after the fact.
All right.
Yo, Julius. Why you was flaming Floyd like that, bro, with the gel glasses? Why was you eating Sun food? Like, literally, yo, you made me laugh, like, literally for the longest time. You had me crying.
You know why I went after Floyd?
Because he was in the sunken place with Kanye and Antonio Brown and Madonna.
You know why I go after Floyd? I'm going to tell you why I go after Floyd, right? Floyd has become...
Because he's stupid?
No. It ain't even about Floyd. It ain't even about Floyd. It's because Floyd has become a false idol of success. He's become a false idol. And what I mean by a false idol is, yo, y'all really think that this cat is A, B, C, and D, and that's because y'all a bunch of fucking sheep. You don't understand. Like, you don't see what's going on, bro? You can't tell, you fucking idiots. You can't tell? How? Don't you see how frequent this man is getting out there? Now he's associated with a cryptocurrency scam, and he's selling water guns, and he's fighting fucking YouTubers.
It's nasty. Yo, Julius, let me talk. Julius, bro, I'm watching this shit, and I'm telling people like, yo, bro, this is y'all man. This is the person y'all were dick riding for over 15 years.
Thank you.
Bro, like, dude's been a clown, B. Like, come on, man.
Like I
come
said,
on.
Let me hit you this.
Go ahead, country.
Let me hit you this. Here's what went on with Floyd and why he's in trouble. All right, him and that basketball star and that other, all
Paul Pierce and Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, what they did. Okay, you got Bitcoin, you got Ethereum, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are also multiple ones where they make like Bitcoin wrapped or Bitcoin this or Ethereum that or Ethereum this. Well, Floyd had a bunch of Ethereum, but it wasn't the main one. It was like a side one, and it was not doing good price-wise, and so did all of his friends. So what they did was they turned around and shilled out to their fans to get them to buy all that, side Ethereum, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened was when they started buying it, it artificially raised the price. Once it raised the price, it allowed them to dump it and make a profit while they dumped it. And then they left their fans holding the bag, holding on to that shit.
It's a pump and dump.
So basically, they screwed their fans and got rid of theirs and made a profit on it when they got rid of it and screwed their fans over. And then now the chickens have come home to roost and they're in trouble. That's
country. I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you think a guy that has bread has to be doing all of that
type of shit?
You think
No.
Elon Musk has to do a pump and dump and then go fight a YouTuber and then go fight a YouTuber on a rooftop in front of a bunch of sheiks?
I'll tell you this: if people that have money like that do pump and dump, they do it in a much more sophisticated way than that.
I'm just saying that look, remember, country, you got the Canelo Alvarez money, you got the Manny Pacquiao money, then you got the Conor McGregor money, and that same year, which was last year, you were supposed to have DK.
You're not slick with the McGregory. You're not slick with that.
McGregory. He had the McGregory money, and the McGregory money should have been enough. See, this is the thing, and I want every American to understand this shit, yo. If you get a bunch of bread, the first thought on your mind should be fear that somebody's gonna come and take it from you. So find a way to make more money because they are gonna come try to take it from you.
It's called putting it into actual assets. That's the way you protect your money.
Exactly. And I'm gonna say this: that garage that he got. Hold on, one at a time, everybody. That garage that he got. How many millions of dollars did you fritter away on all that bullshit? How many? You a bad. See, this is my thing. You are a bad role model, and I'm not talking about smacking. I don't look, man. Look, it is what it is. I'm saying that motherfuckers model what they want to be after you, and you're an idiot. You showing everybody a bunch of cards like you 12 and 16 and 25. You 40 something, my guy. You pushing 50.
Yo, Julius, you remember when you were talking about how Bob Arum made fun of Floyd because he said he's soft and you shoot at cars?
Yeah.
You remember what happened? You remember the article? You remember the article that you put up, right? And you know me, I'm always the one talking about, people's psychology and shit because it all plays a part into it, bro. That man has arrested development, irrespective of how talented he is, bro. He got some trauma that he hasn't been able to fix, bro.
Listen, no. We're not going to do the trauma thing. You know why? Because we all been through some shit. Fuck trauma. Fuck trauma. Fuck trauma.
But yo, Julius, were you ever a bullet shield? No.
Listen. I don't give a fuck. Just like it's a million motherfuckers from my block that don't give a fuck about your fucking trauma. We all been through something. If I drop you in the middle of 125th Street in Leonard, yo, he got trauma. Who fucking cares?
Who cares? Everyone
cares.
Hey, Julius.
But the reason why I'm saying that's the reason why he acts the way he acts. And he taps into people.
No. You don't get to be a dickhead because you got trauma. It's a lot of motherfuckers that's acting like dickheads because I got
gone through shit. We've all gone through shit.
Fuck your trauma. I don't give a shit about your trauma.
Hey, Julius.
Go ahead.
Listen, I'm glad that you actually brought, because you kind of like opened the door to something that is really the crux of the matter and the 500-pound gorilla in the room that nobody wants to talk about, right? Because Crawford is not a pay-per-view star, right? He doesn't get the following that he, on his own merits and performances, deserves. You could say that Andre Ward suffered from the same thing. They're very similar in that way. Andre Ward had a fight with Kovalev that was talked about in social media and Twitter and all that. That should have been a big fight. Nobody fucking bought it, bro.
No, but
so here it is. He's the 500-pound gorilla in the room that I think that I feel needs to be addressed, man. And it saddens me, man. And as I'm talking to you, it makes me like really, really emotional, man, because actually I was at that. I don't know if it's okay to say this, but I had to address this at the Goodfella TV guy because he was saying something, and I said, "Yo, bring me on your show. I want to say this," and I did. And this is it, right? Crawford and Ward are not pay-per-view buys, are not attractive to a certain demographic that would make an excuse for the Adrian Broners of the world, for the Tank Davises of the world.
And I was on the same panel, and he was right. He's right.
Let me just finish this, man. and kind of like ties into the ideology and the image that Floyd puts out that is so attractive to that whole thuggish rapping shit. You know what I'm saying? These are guys that go from the ring and go to their families and about this and that. These are decent men. You know what I mean? But that is not attractive.
It's not appealing. It's not appealing.
That's not attractive. And until the African American community, the black community, of which I consider myself one, because when you see me walking down the street, you don't hear my voice. You don't know what I speak. What you see is a black man. You understand? So until the black community starts understanding that these role models, these decent people are the ones that should be propagated to your children and followed, you know what I mean? And bought and supported, then you're not going to become a pay-per-view star. Don't blame the white man for your fucking problems, bro.
That's
I'm
a
gonna say
fact,
this.
and I agree
No.
with
Hold on. Let me champ this shit real quick. This is what I'm gonna say, right? Because once again, to me, everything is money.
Yes.
Never mind the el gringo, el güero. Fuck the white man. I'm not worried about the white man. No offense to any white people, but I'm not. That's not it, bro. It goes back to what I said earlier. Everybody in this country, and it's not exclusive to one demo. It's everyone. I see that everybody's doing this to some degree. They're always waiting for someone else to do something. Always. It's always. Oh no, Bob has to promote him better. But you knew about the fight, didn't you? It's Bob's job to promote the. All right, he promoted the fight to where you know about the fight. Did you buy it? No. When you get into an argument, and once again, this is a sore spot, Clarissa Shields. For all the arguing that happens on Twitter, who bought her fight? Not the people arguing in her favor. You know who bought it? And who do you act like shit with? And you think that this is conducive towards growth and the betterment of the community. That
Exactly.
you propagate negativity. You embrace negativity.
Thank you.
Look, a couple of days ago, I saw a video unrelated to boxing, but it was about Alfonso Gomez and his interracial marriage. That's Carlton on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Okay.
And
Alfonso Ribeiro, I think.
Alfonso. I watch too
Alfonso
much boxing,
Ribeiro.
bro. I literally said I watch too much boxing, bro.
Yeah, that's the same dude that Canelo beat up, bro, and Miguel Cotto beat up.
Now, this is what I'm gonna say, right? Alfonso Rivera was propagated to our community that we all grew up in as a joke. Am I right? Am I right? When
That's
they
a fact.
used him on that show, he was supposed to be the punchline to an inside joke that we all know. He was.
Yes.
He was the suburban kid.
Yes.
You wanted us to view him as less than us because he was unlike us. Because he conjugated and he studied, and yeah, he was a dork. But guess what? He's kind of like that in real life, and he has a happy marriage. I don't see Alfonso Rivera's wife talking about fucking and all this extra. I don't see that, bro.
That's a fact. And the cool kid going through that.
Wow.
And the cool kids going through. Hey, you know, you was a man, homie. Fuck happened to you?
Yo,
dog.
That shit was biblical. Like, motherfucker, that shit ain't hit motherfuckers the way it should have. Wow. Damn, homie. High school, that's what we.
But think about it. You're from Harlem and you conjugate and you study, but you still a grimy nigga though.
Yeah, I am, but I'm also not from
this both worlds.
Listen. I'm not from this bum ass planet, and that's all I got to say about that shit.
Oh Lord, here we go.
Hey.
The Capricorn stuff is getting to his head. It's getting to his head.
No, but back to the point. The point that I was making about Alfonso Rivera is that unless the community itself and we as individuals realize that, like, yo, dog, we shouldn't have been looking down on that guy. Why are we expecting someone who does not come from our walk of life to sound like us? We get mad. Hold on. We get mad about stereotyping, right? But we're stereotyping each other. We're mistreating each other.
Yes.
Julius,
and
what's
we
the
think.
most,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but what's the most common thing you think that guy his character would hear in the black community.
Okay.
Why are you trying to act white?
Yeah. And
That
I'm like,
would be straight
no,
up.
no. I don't, and I don't want the conversation to get too deep, but see, there's something very deep about that. When you and I remember I used to hear that shit. There was kids on Riverside. You know Riverside, Alexis.
Yeah.
The kids, like all the shit is up the hill. All the shit that's going on is up the hill on Broadway in Amsterdam and Convent. Well, not Convent really, because it's nothing but churches and shit. And Brownstone's on Convent, but St. Nick, 8th, 7th, Lenox, etc. Right? Bang.
Yep.
All right. The kids on Riverside is the Carlton kids, right?
Yep.
Why we gotta look down on these kids because they doing what they gotta do. But we were taught not by the TV, not just by the TV. The TV was playing to what we were doing in the street. Oh, we gonna laugh at them and we gonna look down on them. Why? Because we propagate the negativity. So you gravitate towards, you gravitate towards a Broner who propagates the negativity.
Mm-hmm.
You gravitate towards a Floyd who propagates the negativity.
Mm-hmm.
You gravitate towards the Davis who propagates the negativity.
Mm-hmm.
You are attracted to fuck ups. You idolize the wrong people. So when a Terrence Crawford, who's a family man, he's raising his children, bro,
and has white friends because he's into wrestling. So he ain't from Nebraska. He has a lot of white friends.
And Andre Ward, no, he's not good enough. He's not good enough because he's mixed. You know what that does to people like me? You know how that makes me look at you? Because by definition, once again, I say it before, I say it again. I don't define myself by the constructs, the societal constructs of a racist country. But within those parameters, I would be called what is called mixed. That's what I would be because my grandfather's a dark-skinned man or was a dark-skinned man. When you look down on him, I feel like you look down on me. So do you think that you looking down on me is going to make me sympathetic towards you?
Nope.
No.
And the proper term is mestizo.
Whatever. fucking human bullshit.
Hey, Julius, you know what I remember?
Julius was popping on the block on St. Nick.
You know what I remember about Riverside too? That the people up the hill and all that, Riverside, their sidewalks were always clean.
Weren't they?
Always clean. The
Weren't
nice
they?
buildings, clean buildings, and all that were all down by Riverside.
The
yacht
perfect
looking down on them.
One of the perfect microcosms for life is the difference between Broadway and Riverside, especially if you was a little kid and you was always outside like me getting into shit, right?
You was pumping on the block?
Stop, bro. If I was, why the fuck would I say that on YouTube?
I was playing.
Now, Riverside, to Alexis's point, the building facades are clean. There is no graffiti. There's no nothing. It's nice. It's where you want to be. It's where you want your children to be. And what do they want us that come from that to gravitate towards? The bullshit. You want the bullshit so that you can what? Complain about the bullshit. No, it's everybody else's. It's not me. It's everybody. Not see. All right. You don't want shit. What you want, and this is the part that never gets said. What you want to do is destroy. You want to destroy yourself. You want to destroy your community. You want to destroy what is built because you gravitate towards destruction. Or should you be more like Broner? Should you? Should you be like Davis and drive drunk and crash into people and almost kill them? Should you be like Spence and flip your Ferrari and almost kill yourself? Is that what you want?
That's good promoting. That's good promoting.
There are people who do it and brag about it, man. It's
scary.
scary.
Hey, Julius, I tell people this every day. Niggas meet Satan every day, B.
Hey.
I try to tell people this every day because at the end of the day, like you're saying, people want to be pernicious, and it is what it is. What can you do? Like, you know, the microcosm between Broadway and Riverside, it can be, you know, for me, it's the difference between Hempstead and Mineola. That's the same. That's the same thing for me. You want to live in Mineola, better housing, better education, more economic opportunities, more jobs. Hempstead, it's poverty, it's pain. Like you don't want to be that, but at the end of the day, people are attracted to that for some weird reason.
It's like it's a vicious cycle when people think that suffering has to be a rite of passage. If there's no lesson in the suffering, then you're damning your children is what you're doing. You should want better for your children. If you had to do A, B, C, and D, you shouldn't want that for them. You should want better for them. If you had to do A, B, C, and D. Now, let me read some super chats from my man Jaime Nieto, who says, I'm a Bud fan, but I find it hard to believe Bob doesn't know the ins and outs of that contract. He's a lawyer himself. That's the same thing I think, bro. Jaime also says, also, the timing of this smells like maybe the PBC has their hands in this move. Could be wrong, but this sounds like the way they move. It does, and you're not the only one that thinks that. I think that.
Right.
If I'm Bud, the only way I make a move to the PBC is if they could guarantee him the Spence fight next, if he beats Ugas. Now, this is what we got to look out for, ladies and germs. If he gets a Thurman fight, you know whose move this is. Because I'm thinking, if Ugas beats Spence or Spence beats Ugas, they still have to deal with the winner of Stanionis versus Butaev. That doesn't go away, right? So Thurman is being fed to who? Thurman is going to fight who? He could fight Gervonta Davis because I think it was Ronnie Boy Fresh. Shout out to Ronnie Boy. He put me on to that. They're like, well, why? You know, like, don't be surprised if Thurman fights Barrios. I mean, Thurman fights some Davis. I'm like, yo, you know what? That shit can happen. It's possible. That's a possibility. But I'm gonna say, if we see that all of a sudden Crawford is getting PBC fighters, bro, it's right there, bro. Like, it can't get no more out of it.
If Crawford did that, bro, I'm gonna look at him real differently because real talk, these were the same people that were denigrating you, and now you're kowtowing to him. But mind you, bro, think about it. Crawford comes from the same type of people. Crawford ain't a Riverside dude. He's a Broadway dude. If you really look at it, just because he raises his family, like, yo, bro, you a Broadway dude and you raise your family and you are ill father, bro. So at the end of the day, that doesn't mean that he can't do that same thing because everyone has a price.
That's true too. Let me read this super chat. Tony Boswell says, much respect to Ring IQ and panel. Stopped in to show support. I appreciate you, Tony. I appreciate you. Jaime says, Julius, since I've been watching your show and shows like Coach Malachi, I realize how bad other shows push narratives. I love the show because I ain't the realest. I'm just honest. I ain't the realest. The realest is God himself. Drew, shout out to Drew. They want to cancel Paulie and Mario Lopez. Well, I'm going to tell you this much, bro. I'm going to tell you this much. I don't agree with anything Paulie. I don't agree with what Paulie said about George. There's no way you sit on a man's neck for 9 minutes and you don't realize he's dying. You can literally feel the life leave his body. Right? You can feel it leaving his body. I don't like to get involved in those kinds of things because this ain't that kind of channel, but you want my honest opinion. What Paulie said is irreprehensible. What happened to George Floyd is irreprehensible. Period. There's no argument. You do not sit on somebody's neck for 9 minutes and you don't know they dying. You don't know. You could choke a motherfucker and feel him dying. You don't know that this man is dying. Bullshit. It's simple. It's like you could choke a motherfucker and feel that, like, yo, once he stopped fighting and once he stopped moving, he dead, bro. Motherfuckers need to stop. Like I don't defend none of that crazy shit that Paulie be saying. Like, to me, you a little bit too unsympathetic for me, bro. So what does that mean? If I entertain everything you said, oh, he was resistant. Oh, he was on drugs. Oh, he was being difficult. So kill him. So kill him. That's what you're telling me, right?
My friend is a police officer, and he says there's multiple ways to subdue people. And what they did was wholeheartedly illegal, bro. And this is coming from one of my childhood friends who's now a cop. So he's saying, he even says this is irreprehensible. Why are you defending this? There's certain things I like about Paulie, because when Paulie's right, Paulie's right. This is not one of them.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not gonna tell everybody to burn Paulie at the stake. I'm just saying that, one, I don't like cops, and I don't hide that. Like, I've never hidden that my whole life, let alone on the end. And like, I don't like cops. Period. Right? Cool. But when you make it okay for cops to behave that way. You don't realize the precedents that you setting, bro. It's not a license to kill. You're a civil servant. It is not a license to kill. If we go by what you're saying, so if you being a little bit difficult, if someone is on drugs, how do you distinguish in the moment someone who's on drugs and someone who is mentally disabled? Based on your hierarchy of thought, you can kill them both.
And they don't even have training for that. So how are you even gonna know? What's wrong with this guy?
Shit is wild out here, B.
They're dangerous.
Like all I'm saying is, right, I know for a fact that if you arm these guys the right way, nobody got to get shot, nobody got to get killed. But if you got to incapacitate someone, yes. But this has always been my thing. Why are you hiring people who are so nervous on the job that the first thing that nah, that can't be it, bro. That cannot be it. That you got to shoot. All right, then somebody's not doing their job if there's this many fucking guns in the street.
Hey, Julius, Derek Chauvin was not nervous when he had his knee on this dude. That dude looked calm, and he looked what he was doing was with purposeful intent. That was not someone who was nervous.
That shit was a homicide, bro. That shit was a fucking homicide, bro. You think
he looked like an evil bastard,
bro? How you going to sit like I said, man? Like I don't even want to get into that shit because this not that kind of show. But I'm like, bro, you could choke a motherfucker and feel him die. You telling me you had your knee on this? Like you, come on, B. You know what you was doing, bro. You know what you was doing.
Julius,
come on, B.
What do you think is next at light heavy after this Joe Smith fight? If he gets past this guy on Saturday.
Well, I heard an inside tip. And the inside tip is that everything we've been hearing about Charlo is bullshit. That's not who Canelo Alvarez is looking at. What I heard, which conflicts, it actually conflicts with something else I heard. See, I heard from a very reliable source that Canelo Alvarez's very next fight is going to be on Showtime. But at the same time, I heard from a good source that Canelo's not looking at no fighters that fight on Showtime. He's looking at Smith, he's looking at Bivol, and he's looking at Makabu. So the only way I could see it breaking down to where both things are true is if the Makabu fight is on Showtime. That's the only way it could. Both of those things could be true.
That's probably what happened.
Yeah, that's still Now that you've talked about the Makabu fight, that's a dangerous ass fight, bro. That's a big motherfucker. No, like I understand Canelo's very slippery with the head movement and everything, but if he get caught by that dude, I don't know.
I mean, I'm cool with the fight, but like I said, the other was conflicting is okay. Let's say that Canelo want to do Makabu on Showtime as opposed to like the Zone or something, right? That would also have to mean that he's working with Stephan Espinoza and Showtime independently, that it's not part of the PBC because Makabu is not a PBC fighter.
He's Don King, right?
He's a Don King fighter. So it's like that don't necessarily mean that because it's on Showtime, it might not mean, I should say, that it's a PBC show. It's a lot of different ways, but that's why I always say when it comes to Canelo, I don't know who he gonna choose because he got mad motherfuckers he could choose.
I think that it's a good segue because I actually believe that Joe Smith has a very good chance of getting that fight for a couple of reasons, depending on how he looks on actually tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
Because Joe Smith's style fits Canelo, suits Canelo Alvarez just fine. Those long punches that he could get inside of and get his stuff off, that he practices with those pool noodles. I think and he's very raw. I mean very raw Joe Smith, He definitely had a lot of problems with that guy that was blast off or whatever, that had all the movement. The side to side just threw him off, and Canelo is definitely not a constant mover, but definitely is hard to hit, so he could get frustrated and get countered easy. So I believe that Joe Smith with it. But what I like about what Joe Smith has said is that he prefers the better BS fight.
Yeah, he said that, but Joe DeGuardia gonna make the decision, bro.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying, just from a purist, if I can consider myself that, or and humility, a statement. It's a far cry from the Benavideses of the world that don't do anything and want this fighter to get. This is Joe Smith whose resume could be the best at 175.
Possibly, that's true.
You know what I mean? Hopkins,
Got the deepest resume there.
Yep.
On the low.
Alvarez. This is a guy. B-balls on his resume.
Well, I saw.
You understand? So he may have the best resume. He could definitely have the best resume, and that. So he's done something, earned something, and he's still saying, "What I want is the real challenge for better beef." And that's like, how you want to get off the earth because it's so dumb. You want the planet. Well, this is the kind of person that may want
I know, but
stay,
also because I'm a realist, I'm like, look, bro. And I said this on a video like a week ago. I know Joe saying that because Joe Smith and Joe DeGuardia, they not dumb, bro. Just because Canelo mentioned me in an article, that don't mean he for real. Now, if he for real, and he start making hard inquiries, watch how fast the focus will change. And I don't blame them because it's like, bro, anybody would make the decision to fight
$8 million
Canelo.
minimum.
Exactly.
Minimum, bro.
So I wouldn't be mad if he went back on his word. It's just that I don't buy into that. If you have the chance to fight Canelo and the chance to fight Better Beef, you're gonna choose Better. No, you're not, bro. Come on now. Come on. Let's be honest, bro.
But the aesthetics is nice though.
The aesthetics is nice, and what I liked about it is that he's basically saying what I took from it is if Canelo don't do some shit, I'm going for Better Beef. That's how I took it. Not I don't want Canelo. I took it as, if this Canelo, if he don't hit me up and it's not for real, then I'm gonna go to Better Beef, bro.
Because can I just say one more thing?
Go ahead.
When you say the word irreprehensible, you're actually saying you support it.
Really?
Yeah, because the word that you're looking for is reprehensible. That's reprehensible. If you say it's irreprehensible, that means you support it. It's like backwards. And I kept hearing you say that. It was driving me.
All right, well, I'm gonna put it another way. I hope that Derek Chauvin is allowed into general population. Is that better?
Yes. For his reprehensible behavior. I hope they let him into the general pop so they can have
Gen pop with the niggas. Yes. Gen pop with the niggas.
Joe Smith has a better chance going for Artur than Bivol. He already knows that.
Real shit.
Julius,
go ahead.
With this correction, though, you're opening the door to someone correcting every single one of your mispronunciations and missteps, and we don't want that. So
I'm prepared.
Let's just say only
that's
Alexis is allowed to
work,
do that.
man.
Is that okay?
I'm prepared to deal with
course.
whatever comes. Let me read the super chats because they're piling up.
Hey, Julius, Drew's trying to get in, man.
I got you. But first let me read the super chats. I'm not sure Bob needing to pay Bud if he can't produce the Spence fight is enforceable contract clause. Bob has no control over Spence. Yeah, and I find it a little bit hard to believe that Bob Arum and his legal counsel agreed to pay $1 million minimum every fight the Spence fight doesn't happen.
Yeah, that don't sound right.
Can I say something about?
Bob wouldn't do that. He's too
go ahead, vice versa, because vice versa hasn't gotten the chance to talk much.
Yeah, I wanted to say something about this because it was really eye-opening. Both the videos you have done and yesterday's live show about the whole Bud and Bob Arum situation. And I love the plaid. That needs to be appreciated and said. It's beautiful. But there's a very simple thing you said, and you keep repeating this about timing, right? It's very important to pay attention to timing when you are trying to understand things. And I think it's also very important to keep things simple because this is exactly the kind of publicity stunt that's taking place right now to make things seem more complicated, more complex than they actually are. And, I'm going to float a theory. It's not exactly a conspiracy theory, but I know some will pull it that way because I'm known to have an anti-PBC sentiment. So that's okay, if things are taken that way. But I think it's important to explain things as simple as they can. And there's a philosophical principle about this, right? Occam's razor. If things can be explained in a simple way, that's probably how they are.
Yes.
So let's pay attention to the timeline, right? Tim Smith, it was, right, on the PBC broadcast, the podcast, sorry. He came out and said, we don't want to insult, but I don't know if we can actually pay the kind of money that you would like. And almost, the day after, but literally a couple of days after, the public hears about this case. So this is what I'm going to say very simply. And I'm not saying that PBC is behind this, but I think Bud has been negotiating with PBC in the background and very quickly realized that PBC is either unable or unwilling to pay him the kind of money he expects, whether it's just a Spence fight or whether it's a Thurman Ugas Spence or Thurman Spence fight or Ugas Spence fight. He just realized that PBC is not going to pay him enough. And literally, this case and whatever they might be able to get in the settlement by manipulating public perception is his top off for the meager purses he will get in the PBC. It's really, to me, it's as simple as that. He wants to have his cake and eat it too. He wants to get the top rank money, but fight for the PBC.
Now, let me add to your theory, because when I heard it, something very compelling came up. When was Mikey Garcia's last fight at what year was Mikey Garcia's last fight at Top Rank? 2014. When did the PBC come out?
2015.
Where did Mikey Garcia go after he was removed from Top Rank after 2 years? Where did he go?
Gersha went to PBC.
Gersha, yes.
Do you see where I'm going?
Yeah.
It's just a theory, because and coincidentally, Brian Friedman, here you are again. Brian Friedman, here you are again. Who put you in contact with Brian Friedman? How did you know to go to him?
Wow!
That's a good point.
Oh,
The only good thing about this, Capricorn logic, man.
Nice one, Jerry.
Bud will get whoever has those belts eventually, I guess. That's the only good thing. But I mean, that's even if it can. I mean, if he's having doing a relationship with them.
Only thing I'm saying is, look, Brian Friedman is based out of Beverly Hills. Top Rank is based out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Crawford is from Omaha, Nebraska. Where does it happen that you went to Brian Friedman?
Sando Martin told Terence Crawford, go get that dude.
You know what doesn't jive in that theory, though? You know what? And correct me if I'm wrong. How many PBC fighters are with MTK?
Not a lot. Not a lot.
Any?
I mean, honestly, no.
Right. So here it is. If you have what would preclude that scenario would be his relationship with MTK. Now, the thing that I most criticize about Crawford's, in my opinion, stupidity, is that he could be really sitting on easy street, right? He could be, instead of chasing what's going on, whatever in PBC, or worried about what they're doing, if that's in fact what he's doing, right? He could sit on easy street, and I've talked to you about this before, Julius. I think he can do what Mayweather did in a certain way. What did Mayweather do when he was at 147? He had all these guys be built up to come and fight him. Right, guys are coming from lower weights, like Robert the Ghost Guerrero, couple of things, coming to see him for these pages. Now, granted that Crawford definitely doesn't have that kind of pull, doesn't have the kind of pull to make the pay-per-views and generate that kind of money. But that's neither here nor there. Within his sphere, within his grade of pay, he could, first of all, get Josh Taylor to come to fight him, right? Although you would have, maybe he feels some kind of way about having to go to the UK or whatever. But then there's a whole host of the Virgil Ortiz fight. That could be really huge, right? And he can make himself available to that. And just one more thing, and then all those dudes that from 140 that could come up to him and just have a fight and keep getting paid.
Now, this is what I'm gonna say.
Free.
This is what I'm gonna say, right? If I were Terrence Crawford, the route I would have went, fuck America. We did that. Dubai, here I come. Hey, Daniel, get me Josh Taylor in Dubai.
Taylor in Dubai.
$10 million.
Yo, it'll happen. It'll happen. That'll happen.
It could.
That
now
would
it
have been a great
won't.
fight too, man.
Now it won't though, country. Because
yes, it will.
I don't think Terrence wants to leave New York. I'm sorry, but I don't think Terrence wants to leave America. I think Terrence likes America, and I think and I know Terrence likes money. Everyone likes money, but I think Terrence is simple guy. I don't think he really particularly cares.
If Josh moves up, he can force himself on Bud one way or the other. It don't matter. It doesn't have to be with Bob.
Yeah, if he wants to.
Exactly.
Listen, wait a minute. See, this is what's going on at 140, and everybody keeps assuming that Josh is going to shoot right up to 147. Right now, what's going on is you got Teofimio Lopez, and he about to debut at 140, and it might be against Arnold Barboza. Now, whether Barboza,
that's not good. That's not
good, bro.
That's not good, bro.
At all, right? But let's say that Arnold come through that, or let's say that Lopez come through that, right? I'm right here for the winner, bro. And I could beat you easier than I could beat him. I got all the belts right here. You can't tell me shit. You was telling me shit before. Lopez, you can't tell me shit, bro. This ain't 50-50, bro. You want what I got, you do it on my terms, bro. Period. Because I'm Straight up.
And I think Josh Taylor is going to really try to kill him.
If Josh,
because Josh has a real mean nastiness to him, bro.
Oh yeah,
motherfucker. That's why I like him.
Because he's a Capricorn like you.
Look what he did to Progress.
That's a great fight. See, like Crawford, this is the weird thing, right? I saw before the lawsuit news hit, right? I saw Crawford talking to Prograrius. And I'm like, Prograrius is like, I'm a big fan of Prograrius, by the way. Prograrius is a prophylactic fighter / probellum. He's with prophylactic. So Crawford talked to Richard Schaefer. Yo, let me beat the shit out of Regis Prograis for like $2-3 million. Not even a lot. Let me get $2-3 million and beat the shit out of him. Why not in Dubai? Shit, you never know. In Dubai, I might get more for this shit. You know what I mean? Maybe I go to Boxer and I talk to Ben Shalom. Hey, Ben, let's do some UK shit, man. Let me fuck up some of your guys, man. You got some Brits? Let me beat the shit out of some of them, yo. What's good, Scott? Scott, y'all just signed Clarissa Shields. Y'all can't sign me. I'm Terrence Crawford. If you want me to get a flat in London, I'll get it. Let's get some money. But motherfuckers be local than a motherfucker. Tray bag of shake than a motherfucker.
Facts.
Bag of shake than a motherfucker. Bro, I'm getting a flat in London. I'm drinking Earl Grey. Let me beat the shit out some dudes from Birmingham. Why not? You get a shot at
Hull. Let me go to Hull.
You know what I mean?
Hey, Jules.
Why not? Go ahead,
Jules. What do you think about Crawford versus Prograis?
I think Crawford would stop him.
But that's a tough fight, though. I'm just not thinking.
It's a fun fight. I think Bud will outbox him. I think he'd outbox him easy.
Crawford will see Prograis sweet spot, and you got to let him get in there. Don't know, pause. But you got to let him get in there. Is mid range to inside. Crawford to keep him on the outside with the pit.
He has good head movement and Prograis.
Felix Diaz 2.0.
He's not Felix Diaz 2.0.
Nah, he better than that. He better than that. He's a tough.
That.
That's my Rugaroo. That's my guy. I'm a fan of Rugaroo.
I
Wait,
think Guru
Josh
doesn't
is
want
at
to move up
140
to
if I'm
47.
him. If he really
I don't
wants
think
to.
he doesn't want to move up to 47 because, like you said, those guys in the dimensions, bro. Because hey, yo, just like how Teofimo struggled at 135, that's the same with Regis Prograde, bro. Let's keep it a buck.
but no. But I'm gonna say this though.
Nah,
This is
no.
no. Wait, I'm gonna say this right. The reason I know that Prograrius can make it at 47 is because bitch ass Danny Garcia 112 with red catch. That's what's up there, bro. That's what's up there. Guys like that. Regis will do fine. How I know? He fucking made red catch want to leave. Fake the whole nut shot that didn't happen with his power. He can make it, bro. He can make it, bro.
But he doesn't want to, bro. I don't understand because one thing I don't understand about fighters who don't want to move up. Like I give you Tony Harrison for example. I always tell everybody this. I even tag Tony Harrison in this. Tony Harrison has never lost to any fighters. He's only lost to himself. And one of the reasons why is that for a guy who's 6'1", he's 154 pounds and is in his early 30s. What type of ass backward retarded shit is that?
Yo, I don't even understand that shit. Like, bro, why you ain't move up yet, bro? What are you waiting for?
And you cool with one of Tony's stablemates, but like G shit, it's like, yo, Tony, my nigga, like, yo, you compromising your body for this, mind you, bro, because at the end of the day, you may not be boxing for too much longer, bro. You have life outside of this.
Yo,
man, mind you, bro.
He might just retire at this point.
I think so. Didn't he draw with Perella?
He really turned down Tim Tszyu to fucking do nothing.
So that he could try to get
Tim Tszyu to do nothing.
Eson. He turned down
Tim
Tszyu. No, he turned down Tim Tszyu so he could start asking about Luis Arias, B. What is Twitter? He like, yo, why I can't get Luis Arias? I'm like, Luis Arias. Bro.
Cuba.
Bro.
But yo, with him,
call back to Tim and beg.
The thing is with him, I think he doesn't have a chin. So at the end of the day, that's the reason why he doesn't want to move up. Because, bro, once Cecil McCullough with 9 knockouts can hurt you and have you on your back foot like that, it's not looking good. Because what? Yeah, see, shoot that again. Shoot it again.
Tony Harrison versus Triple G.
Yo, I fucking love
but
this
Tony Harrison was in camp with Triple G, bro. And it seems like he was doing well against them
for years.
Yeah, but hey, that made dented his chin, bro. Because real talk, I heard, yo, bro, you know, Tony Harrison had an injury prior to the Jermell Charlo rematch. That when they fought was rescheduled, and they said, oh, Tony got an injury. They said it was actually alleged that he got knocked out in sparring. So they faked the injury, and then boom. So at the end of the day, bro, it's been rumors about this dude's chin being fucked around for years.
Because look, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't he stopped by Willie Nelson?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's not a big puncher, bro.
That's crazy.
And and again, what happened with Willie Nelson from Demetrius Andrade, bro?
That's what I'm trying to get at, bro. Like,
shit, though.
Andrade beat that nigga ass, be like,
beat the fucking shit out of him, B.
Can you imagine Boo Boo at 154 if he would have signed with the PBC? And
Brother, he has still been there, bro. He has still been there.
Hey, yo,
beating niggas half dead, bro. Like niggas, I'm telling you, him at 154, niggas didn't want none of that. Like I think the only person
beat Mel. He would have beat
Mel. He would have beat the shit out of Tony Harrison. He would have fucked Tony up, bro. He would have fucked Tony up bad.
One thing now, Alexis, go ahead, then I'm gonna read the super chats.
No. I was just gonna say peace out to all of y'all. It was great. Thanks for the invite, man. All right.
Yeah. Alexis, good to talk. Good hearing from you again.
Let me read the super chat. I agree, Julius. You have Wards, Canelos, and Bud outside of the ring. You hear nothing from them. They quiet. They don't get in trouble, yet they get hate. Look, Canelo negotiated a whole motherfucking hostage situation. His brother was up for ransom, B. You ain't hear nothing about that. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Yeah, B.
before
I
the
think it
Rock-
was during the Rocky Fielding fight. His brother was up for ransom. He had to pay a ransom so that the people south of the border don't motherfucking murk his ass. That's fact,
Ramon,
bro.
the one who got stopped by
Yeah,
Ronnie Law. He
yeah.
good.
Wow,
He good.
man.
We don't need him. We don't need him. He
I
I'm
I didn't
fucking.
even
Come on.
hear
I'm
How many?
fucking.
No. Let me see. It's another super chat. It's another super chat over here. Let me get to it. Drew says, Paulie been mad since the McGregor sparring session. Great analyst, but an uninformed citizen on political issues. They did not ask him about Floyd in the interview. He brought it up out of left field. Look, this is what I'm going to say once again, right? Once again, because this pertains to us as citizens and the flaws in our society, all right? We need better policing, period. We've needed it for years, from Amadou Diallo to Abner Louima to what happened to Rodney King. Those of us that grew up in that era, the Rodney King riots over there in the West Coast.
That was some bullshit. They
All
beat
right.
that nigga ass.
All right. Today, we should not be hearing about Trayvon Martins and Mark Browns and Freddie Grays and George Floyd's, but it's still going on. Why? Because the policing hasn't changed. And that money comes from me and you, the taxpayer, because those are municipal servants. And you telling me that my money going, nah, something got to change, B. Something got to change. And really, I don't really like cops. I'm sorry to say, but I don't really like cops. That's me.
Hey, Julius, I don't mean to pry into your personal life, but has there been a negative instance with you in police officers?
Many.
Multiple times? All right, cool. That's it.
Many.
The only thing I'm gonna say about cops is they try to make you guilty without evidence a lot of the time, and I don't like that.
Now, look, I'm not going to say that. Just like you can never generalize a whole thing, right? All cops is not bad. That's what I'm gonna say. All cops is not bad. They got families.
I worded that wrong.
You know what I mean? Like they got families and shit. Like, look, it's just a lot of shit, right? So I'm not trying to say that, oh, you just gotta hate the police, because imagine a world without them. Or it'll be bad. And a lot of y'all motherfuckers don't want that. A world without no police? Oh, you think you want that. Just like motherfuckers, you think you want war. You think you want that. You don't want that.
Then you have a whole bunch of Juliuses running in your crib.
Never mind me. Never mind me. I'm gonna be in fucking Canada. Fuck that. You think I'm gonna stay in this motherfucker? I'm going to Canada. I'm gonna speak French. But what I'm saying is we need reform. That's all I'm saying. We need reform. And the time for crying about it, bro, these is your blocks. All right. You need to be in them city hall meetings. You need to be voting for your municipal servants, because motherfuckers be all worried about the president, but the shit that happens at the ground level has to do with more local shit. Your municipalities, those people, you need to worry about that, because if shit ain't right where you live, guess what? Some bit of it is your fault. Some bit of it. And that goes back to what I started with. Everybody's always waiting in this country for someone else to do it. You have to do it, not someone else. You have to do it, or do what I did and get the fuck out of Dodge and stop complaining. You don't see me complaining.
I'm happy I'm happy you left New York, because I ain't gonna hold you. Once I get money, I'm getting the fuck up out of here,
bro. When I left,
it's getting disgusting, B.
New York went to shit when I left. It was a safe place when I was there. Let me read Ronnie Boy fresh shit. Regis won 0 parts of 147 right now. I know this to be a fact. Sources, yo, dog, I believe you, because right now Regis know it's a dry riverbed at 147 right now, right? It's one DK money fight, and that dude is, to me, he's on the brink of retirement. That's Errol Spence flipping out his Ferrari. That's DK, the money fight.
Yo, bro. Another thing, when you talking about this arrow, when I have sex with Terrence, that was some sick ass shit, bro.
Yo,
that
dog, I'm telling you the truth.
That was sick.
Why you think Fox?
Oh,
why you
God,
think Fox
here
don't
we
want to do
go.
that fight?
Here we go.
Bro, when you was on that type of time, my nigga, I was on the other side of the screen appalled.
Look,
I know he didn't do this.
Hold on. remember, like, well, you was too young for all that Lil Zane and Cisco shit when motherfuckers
I
like, yo,
remember Lil Zane from Fighting Temptations. Yeah, I remember that one.
Motherfuckers was like, yo, that motherfucker Mo. Right now, you got Errol, whole Errol Spence on camera, arms around Yellow Beezy, blowing sweet nothings in his ear, and that's your man. That's your man.
Yo, no,
Yeah, yo.
No, that's not my man.
Not
I'll
your
claim
man.
that, nigga.
Not your man.
What? Nah, I like that. I ain't like that, bro. I'll claim him. They claim him. They love him unconditionally. That's disgusting, man.
If I'm on Twitter, it'll take 2 minutes for me. I'll say something bad about Spence. It'll take less than 2 minutes for some fucking guy in Texas. That's your man, and cause that's your man, that tell me more about you.
Bad Chichi man Robs.
Right?
Chichi man.
Cause motherfuckers ain't missed that shit, bro. He had his whole arm around Yellow Beezy.
I'm about to kiss him all in his face, real sweet, nigga. Like, hey, yo. What's good with this
blowing
nigga?
Motherfucking spit bubbles in his ear, like, yo.
Like, don't you have a daughter, my nigga? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Bruh.
His baby mom is fine.
I've been said it. When I seen that he was at like a club or some shit, right? It was like a picture that was floating around, and I seen he was like at a club or some shit, and it was just guys around him. They ain't had shirts on, he ain't had a shirt on. Everybody sweaty. Like, yo, why they sweating? Matter of fact, why the fuck would I have my shirt off next to you and I'm sweating, B? The fuck? Like,
where the bitches at?
That's what I'm like. So like, yo, if it's some sweaty titties around here, let's talk. It's a sweaty ass cheeks and some titties. Nah, it's just guys. I was like, Errol. I see you motherfucker.
I see, says the blind man. I don't like that.
That's why his fans like him. That's why his fans like him. They want the truth.
Yo. Now, once again, because I'm a man of God, judge not lest ye be judged. I am not judging you, bro. Your life is your life. You are who you are. I'm just saying, when I see how fixated these individuals are with you, they are projecting you, and you take it in the booty. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying.
Yeah, what Austin's knocked at your doorstep to your shit right now? You fighting him?
Yo, he get his fucking head blown off. His shoulders. He get his noodles. He get his ramen noodles, and I pour salt like you wildin'. You're not touching my butt. Plah. No, I'm just.
Yo, Julius do look like the type of nigga to put someone in the earth. Crazy though.
Nah, don't talk like that. I'm a family guy, bro. Like,
I understand you are a man. I understand you are a man. I understand you are a man of restitude and righteousness. But yo,
if Spence come, hey Spence, chill out, bro.
Chill out. You be playing
right in his
mata.
Right in his fucking dome piece. Chill, B. Anyway, look, it was a good live. I'm fucking sleepy. I gotta go to sleep because I gotta interview Sandy Ryan in the morning. Gentlemen, always.
Yo, she be wilding on Twitter, bro. She be wilding, my nigga. She might be crying.
Now, y'all behave yourselves when I have her on here.
Okay, it was great, man. Have a good night, Julius.
Country, always a pleasure.
Thanks
for having me. Is a Capricorn.
Have a good night, fellas.
You lost his